Well, that's the thing. When I first saw you, I was like, oh my gosh, Ben Affleck is in real estate. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special signature studio spotlight series with maybe Ben Affleck?
I think it's Ben Affleck.
He kind of looks like it.
I think it's him.
But he's actually just as successful. We're talking about Mr. Christian Stone. Yeah.
Christian Stone's in the house.
What's up, buddy?
Everybody must get... No, they shouldn't.
Not on this one. I wish I was half as successful, but thank you guys very much. I'm excited to be here.
Man, Christian, your career over the past couple of years has just been a rocket ride into the stratosphere.
Yeah, thank you.
And so here we are at Signature Real Estate Group in beautiful Murrieta on Los Alamos. And and that's what I love about the show, Susan, is that we get to bring in some of the best talent this area has to offer in the far as real estate goes. So how did you meet this handsome young man here?
I never remember the answer to that question.
I know, that's why I always ask you.
And so, how did I meet you?
Well,
no, I actually remember because right before we started filming, they told me.
okay. I was like,
We have to feed you your lines.
We met at when I was in the smaller space over on Murrieta Hot Springs Road, and had the wonderful David Serpa bring you in. We used to have masterminds there, and that was the first time that I got to meet you. I was really lucky.
Yeah. I'm looking for my script board. Where was it? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the first time we met. I don't think we actually, I was at a different brokerage at that time. I was there for the mastermind, just to kind of get a feel of things. And I think you were already moved into your temporary office.
The little space.
Before I joined, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The little space over there.
Because you were building this one.
Yes.
'Cause you exploded as well.
We did.
Yes.
Well, I did it because you guys came. So I'm fully aware of that.
It's mostly you.
No, it's not. You are a leader in the industry. You're a leader in this office, and I will respect you. And I'm so glad that you're here. You make a huge difference.
Thank you.
It wouldn't be the same without you.
I appreciate that.
A lot of people depend on you, too.
I know. I'm working on it.
Good stuff.
And for those who don't know who Christian Stone is, he's one of the top agents in the area. And he didn't just magically fall upon the mountaintop. He actually had to do a lot of hard work. And when you actually follow Christian on social media, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, you'll see that he has a very disciplined, routined, predictable path to success that he really grinds on. You are certainly one of the most disciplined that I've ever seen. So I kind of want to jump into that. Where did that kind of a fire in the belly come from?
Yeah.
And what makes you kind of stick the train to the tracks, if you will?
Loaded question.
I know.
How much time do we have?
Enough.
45 minutes.
All right. So yeah, I got my real estate license and I was walking and I found this little bottle and it said magic real estate pills and I've just been taking them.
Easy.
They're
the whole
so
time.
good.
It's just easy.
They have different flavors, right?
Secret is out.
Dang it, we're going to buy some of those.
So how do I stay so consistent now, or how did it all start?
Well, what I find with people is, especially in real estate, is that being disciplined and committed to the goals and setting forth those goals and actually hitting them or smashing them in your case.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people could do that. In fact, 88% of real estate agents fail within the first year or two.
Yeah.
And you didn't fail. So what was it about your upbringing, your childhood? How are you wired, basically, is what I'm trying to get at.
I've actually asked myself that a lot, but I think it's because I do look back at my family. I've come from not lower income, not higher income, kind of just middle. Firefighters, police type of income, and they're very strict and detail oriented and scheduled.
Right.
So I think it's definitely part of that. The goal side for me is like I learned young. Actually, my first year in real estate, that you could make a bunch of money and spend a bunch of money really fast. So then
Easy come, easy go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my tax bill and still thought I made a bunch of money and was like, oh, I lost a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So as far as the goal thing, I never really learned that from somewhere, obviously from reading books and stuff.
Sure.
But for me, I was like, okay, because I want instantaneous results. I was like, I have to slow that down as far as the materialistic things and the toys go. So I set big goals. In order to get there, you obviously have to do a lot of work. So that's just kind of how I learned that. It was actually to slow myself down.
Interesting.
Yeah, from not going into a bumpy path.
Well, you seem to be very methodical in your approach. How does your day usually start? It's Monday, 4 or 5 a.m. What's Christian doing?
Oh, okay. So it's changed throughout the years.
Okay.
How does it start now? switch back to year 1, it was go crazy, go crazy, go crazy. So year 2 and 3 gained 40, 45, 50 pounds and started getting unhealthy, which was really last year.
Yeah.
When I got, went to the doctor because I had low energy, drinking like 2-3 energy drinks a day. And he was like, dude,
that's not
good. That's not good.
Yeah.
He's like, how many hours do you work? I'm like, it's not bad. Like, I get up around like maybe 4 and I work till like maybe 10 or 11. And he's like, how many days a week? I'm like, I don't know. It's like 6, but it's not that bad. I take Sundays off sometimes to go to church and stuff. And he's like, what? What are you doing? And I was just like, what?
Yeah.
So I slowed it down and I started focusing on health. So now it's in the gym, basically up at 4 o'clock, in the gym by 5.
Wow.
Gym from basically 5 to 6, out of the gym. And then right when I get home from the gym is when I do kind of like my affirmations, basically.
Get your mind right.
Yeah, get my mind right. Kind of like, okay, what am I going to do today? Still no emails, still no work as of this year.
So you haven't jumped on the phone at this point?
A little bit on social media.
Okay.
Business, no.
Okay.
At this point, there's no business because I learned this year. Previous years, it was. I learned this year that it's more important to actually have a life, a marriage, and other things are important, right?
Yeah.
So, no phone up until about 7 o'clock, business-wise.
Perfect.
As far as emails and stuff. A little bit on, social media. You could, like, we talk a lot of smack on social media. I have accountability partners. So you didn't show up to the gym this morning. What are you doing? That's the kind of social media stuff we're doing. Holding each other accountable. So my day is basically all the way up until I leave my house 7:30 is basically like me, focused on me now.
Sure.
Try and get here by 8, between 7:30 and 8 a.m. It's usually like kind of check the quick emails and then hop on the phones till 11 is the goal.
So from what, 8:30 to 11, 9 to 11?
It typically ends up being after grabbing a coffee in the office, chit chat, about 8:30, 8:40 till about 11 now, and that's on the phones calling. Mostly right now, sphere of influence, past clients, and just hot leads, expireds for sale by owners, people who are ready to go right now. Yeah. So.
And so, and that's what I want to get at too, is that there are a lot of ways to generate business in this business.
Oh, yeah.
And I myself, and I've said this on many episodes, I'm not a cold caller, but it seems to work for the people that do it, such as yourself. Like, you are one of the... I'm kind of sensitive. I don't want people yelling at me. But you, sir, have no problem people yelling at you.
Make more calls.
Yeah, make more calls. No, how'd you get my number? Lose my number. Don't call me again. Okay, sorry. But you have no problem going through that.
Yeah, I did. I mean, obviously, heck, nobody likes being yelled at, right?
Sure.
At all. I did year 1, 2. It was like, okay, whatever. Now it's just like, well, next. If you don't, I take pride in the value that I offer to my buyers and sellers. So if you immediately don't want to work with me, I probably wouldn't have wanted to work with you either.
That's smart.
So I take no offense to people hanging up on me and things like that anymore.
They just reject themselves out of your system.
Yeah, exactly.
They remove themselves out of that.
Or, we don't know their background. They could have been having a really bad day. They could have been hungover. They could have just found out their grandma passed away.
Sure.
So we can't take emotion to it. So just hang up and call the next number. It's kind of what I've always thought about it. Same thing with door knocking. People are so scared to door knock because you get a door slammed in your face and then you're bummed. Well, that next opportunity is 15 steps away.
That's true.
And I've had that happen. Slammed in my face. The next one, listing appointment.
3
Think
feet
about
from gold.
that.
Yep.
So that's the kind of stuff that it obviously relates to goals as well.
Sure.
Because that kind of stuff is trackable. So I'm like, oh, if I do this and this and this, I can get this. So that's kind of what pointed me towards goals as well.
So you like having that kind of quantitative, is that a word? Quantitative? Quantitative? The quantity of quantities.
That's a data, something trackable.
Trackable, yeah.
Kind of what I kind of live my whole life like that.
Interesting.
If I do this and this, I'll get this result.
So when you work out, are you the same way? Like, okay, I'm going to do
I've
10
been
reps.
on that.
Yeah, I bet you keep track of all that stuff.
There's a book. It's called "Focus is for People Who Don't Focus," or something like that. It's if you do the same thing consistency, no matter what it is, you'll always win, no matter what it is. If you do the same bad thing consistently, something bad's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah.
Right. But he just relates it to like you said, a weight. If you pick up a 20-pound bar, every morning you wake up and you just go like this 50 times, within about 30 days, it's going to be a little bit buffer.
Interesting.
It's the same thing on the phones, on the doors, anything in life you want to put it to. Instead of eating bad and you eat a salad every day for 30 days, you might lose 5 pounds.
If you don't drink 3 Red Bulls or 3 Bangs or whatever.
Your blood pressure might go down a little bit. If you lose your 45 pounds and try not drink energy drinks, you might lose,
I do love how he runs his business, and everyone here runs their businesses differently. But the place that I respect is that he's responsible and deliberate in everything that he does, and he's not dependent on some other system that could, in a flash, shut it off and change his business. Right. He's always in control of it. The leads are always there. He knows how to do it. He knows how to fish. And so if all of a sudden somebody stopped doing a pay-per-click, his business is not affected. It just keeps moving forward. So I love the security of what he's building. And some people say it's old school, and I think that no matter what, relationships are important in real estate. So he builds relationships with people. Yeah. And I think that's important. I love watching that happen because he's so young. He's just a baby.
Yeah. How old are you?
28.
He's 28.
Wow. So wait, how old were you when you got started?
23.
Wow.
Yeah, 23.
Man, you're doing it right.
I'm trying.
You're going to be retired by the time you're 40, man.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Yep. But then everybody says you get bored.
Not if you have plenty of money to spend.
I don't really know.
I think if you have plenty of toys, money to spend, and a way to give back,
yeah.
When you're giving back, I think you find the fulfillment, and then you find the fun, because the little kid now gets to play and spend his money.
That's true. It's very true.
That's cool.
And you're still going to be a little kid by the time you do that. So.
That's very true, too. I look at some people who are speaking it. I go to these real estate events, and they're like, I just closed 260 deals this year. It's been my best year ever. I'm so excited to go on this vacation. I just turned 67, and I'm like, holy smokes. I don't know how old is the average now, but that took a long time, so I don't want to be there. I want to try and enjoy it, is what I've kind of learned this past year and a half. Is enjoy it more while it's here. Because you never know,
No, you don't know.
There's some bad stories. People save their whole lives for retirement, and then they get sick or get hit by a car, and then what was it all worth? So.
And I think I really enjoy watching your career and stuff like that. Because I remember being young and hungry and hustling and stuff like that. Yeah. And the best advice that I ever got, I got 2 great pieces of advice. One was from Bob Marley. And he said that if you're always chasing numbers, numbers never end. Yep. Right? So if you're always chasing, I want 100 houses, then it's going to be 200 and then 300, or I want $1 million and stuff like that. Yep. And then the other piece of advice was, if you climb the ladder to success and then you get to the top and realize it was on the wrong building, then did you really succeed?
I like that one. Where was that one from?
I don't know. Some old
Bob
guy.
Marley?
Some very old guy. I was like, we'll give it to Bob Marley. But because in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, I was a top producer at Exit Realty for 7 consecutive years, and it felt good to the ego and all that. It felt great. Right. You know what I mean? And you're making all this money and stuff like that. But Steve Morris used to say that when you burn so hot and you burn the other people around you, then that's not so good, right?
Agree.
And so I'm glad to hear that you're finding that balance, because there is a lot more to life. And how much money do you actually need, right? So
it's true, because and this is a new thing. You have to remember, this has been the past. I would honestly say probably when I bought that car.
Because he's 28 now and he's growing up.
Yeah, I realized that was my, I had that car that goes back like years. I found out to where I was like, just talking to my dad recently about it, where I was like, I think he said 6 years old, and I was all into Audi. And I was like, wow, that's weird. But that's always been my dream car. And then I finally bought it last year, and I was just like, it was so fun for, 7 months, 8 months. It was awesome. Yeah. And now it's like,
it's just a car.
It's parked in the garage. That's cool.
In an exotic car rental.
And a company, yes. It's coming soon. But it's been believe me, that's been a work in progress as well. So don't get me wrong. No, don't want to act spoiled, nothing stupid like that, but I do love driving it still. But it did make me realize, like, that exciting moment does wear off. Yeah. You'll never walk out to the garage every day and be like, oh, there it is. Yeah. I'm so excited and pumped.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it was so hard it takes a while to get that to click.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm still trying to figure out what gets that to click. But I read something that was like, well, it's not really the end, right? And I don't even know who said this one, but it's what it takes to get to the end.
It's the journey, not the destination.
It's the journey, yeah. So then I'm thinking like, well, you guys know today I was like, oh, this is a really bad day. And I'm just like getting hit by everything. But it's all part of the process, right? You know, and it's the same thing, flip-flop. I got a big listing last week. And I was talking to my friend about it. He's like, you don't sound that excited. I'm like, oh, it's just part of the process. It's part of the journey to where I'm going. So it's kind of like I'm just trying to enjoy it while it all happens, rather than be numbers oriented and just be pissed that you're not hitting those numbers, and then let that control your life, you know.
But it is fun to watch you as a young man set a goal and then achieve it. And
Smash
then we
it.
all get to see it.
It's definitely been fun.
That is, any mom would be going, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And so that part is really fun to watch. And I know that sometimes out there in the media, the people who don't know that you would give them the shirt off of your back, they don't know that you set that goal, you hustled, you worked, and that is actually an achievement.
Right.
And then that's the prize.
Right.
You know, and that's not arrogance.
Yeah.
There's not an arrogant, egotistical bone in your body that you ever show me, because you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
So pop that balloon real quick.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see a humble young man have such great success and have those goals met.
Yeah.
And then to see the reward at the end of it. That's a great thing.
I think that part of that was social media.
Yeah.
It used to be different, my social media. I would post my new goal that I got with no value. So I was like, just bought this. Cool. Now, if I post something that I worked my way up to, I try and add value. Like, we did this, this, and this, and it got me this.
Yeah.
Right? I set the goal to get that, because you're right. So many people see it from the outside.
Yeah.
And they're like, this Christian Stone guy is just some kid. Oh, he'll learn one day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's just the outside
No,
perspective.
you're a nice
you know?
boy.
Thank you. But I got a funny story for you guys on that subject. Somebody wrote me on Instagram and said, hey, I don't want to bug you, but I just got my license. What should I do? And I was like, all right, do these 5 things. And if you do them for at least a month straight, I guarantee you'll get a listing. He's like, yeah. And he did it. And I was like, but I don't want to hear from you for 30 days. And he was like okay with a bunch of dots. I got a screenshot of it. He literally wrote me 30 days later, he got 2 listings.
That's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
First month in real estate.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that gets me excited now.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that is rad.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at now in my real estate career.
Yeah.
And that's one of the best places to be, is when you're actually giving back, because there is that phase where you're climbing the ladder kind of thing. But then when you can, what do they say? If you're up, then reach down, and then if you're down, then reach up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when you get into that phase of being a mentor and stuff like that, because that's where the legacy building starts to happen, and you can have those positive ripple effects on other people's lives.
Right.
And so it's so cool to see you and hear you say that, because you've achieved some pretty awesome mountaintop experiences.
Yeah.
And for you to kind of be able to share that with other people, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that will be remembered.
It is. It's fun.
And I remember something really special. His dog.
I don't know the story.
He has the best dog in the world. The dog comes in, it's just like him. Self-discipline, self-control,
Totally.
stay. He'll just sit there. And then I'm watching, I'm like, how did you do this? Because my dogs are just crazy, right? And he calls the dog, sits right next to him. And then he says, watch this. And he walks all the way to the other side, which we have a long hallway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's not coming. He's like, yeah, he likes to just stay there. He likes to listen to do what I say.
What kind of dog is it?
Oh, he's got such a
He's
good
like a rescue. He's a boxer pit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's a rescue dog. Someone threw him out on the freeway.
And then what did he do? He saved
Trained
him and trained him. And he's a good puppy dog.
Oh, yeah,
So just
he's
like he is
awesome.
at work, he's like that with his puppy dogs too.
Yeah.
What's
That's
your favorite
awesome.
hobby?
Right now, favorite hobby, I would say wake surfing. Yep.
You're a
Every
water boy.
Now, yeah, I grew up always dirt, always just like John.
Yeah, dirt
right?
bikes, yep.
It's always motocross, desert, Ocotillo Wells, Glamis, and I just sold them all last month, and was like, you know what? I just love the water now. So
Feels a lot better to crash on the water than the dirt, huh?
that too. A year gosh, it's been 3 years now. I had my elbow replacement.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so that's when I decided, okay, and real estate was just starting to do really good for me.
Right.
And I had to have my full elbow replaced just from a dumb little accident in my backyard. I was like, okay, it's time
Do you have a
to
metal
sell.
elbow?
Oh, yeah, it's a full fake elbow. It's a full elbow replacement.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
I didn't realize. I thought
Yeah.
you broke it. I didn't realize like they totally replaced you.
Oh, yeah, full elbow replacement. And then the year before that was ankle and then the wrist. And I'm just like, okay, we have to slow down on this if I'm going to do real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of hard to like go into somebody's house like this.
Hobbled up.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll sell your house.
You're all broken.
I did it a couple times actually.
Yeah.
This is my sling I fell. But
You get that sympathy sale, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Sign the
Let's all
contract because
get
I haven't.
slings.
Yeah. So I kind of got out of the dirt stuff just for now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably go back to it and just stick into the water stuff because you can do it all year in a wetsuit, you know, which we've been doing lately.
That's cool.
But that's kind of what I'm into right now. It's just wake surfing. It's fun.
Right on, man.
It's more relaxed.
Where do
Yeah.
you go?
We go to the river, Havasu, Lake Paris.
Do you have a house or anything out there?
Not yet. It's coming.
Do you buy and sell houses?
I do sometimes.
You make good money on that?
We do. Oh, is
So-
that what we're talking about?
Wait. Okay, so if you do follow Christian Stone, which you should on Facebook, Instagram, and all that good stuff, what was it, about a month or two ago, you did this video
Yeah.
of a house that you bought, and that you had
That's
somebody squatting in it.
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
tell that story, man. That's a good one.
Yeah, so it's funny how I got into that. So I did a flip with somebody, and I was like, ooh, this is interesting. This is kind of new, like in the real estate aspect. I didn't flip before. So I was like, okay, I think I can do this with some money I have now. So did another flip, did another one, and that's like, I think like the sixth one now. And just bought this house. The day the people moved out, I went there the next day just with my video guy, actually, because we're going to build a video of, okay, this was the beginning,
Right.
this is the middle, and now this is the final product, and we're going to make it like this is what happens during a flip, right? And we're walking around the kitchen, we're walking around everywhere talking loud, and then he's like behind me, I'm walking down the hallway in this empty house, and there's just trash everywhere. We both walk in and we turn, and I'm like, what? He's like, dude, you probably jumped a foot in the air. And there was just this big dude passed out on the floor in the master bedroom.
Wow.
And he was like, oh, let's get out of here because there's a huge screwdriver laying by him. But he didn't move. I thought he was maybe dead or something because I was like looking at him, but he's kind of like did an eye thing. I was like, hey, you have to get out of here. And he didn't move. So we went outside, and I was like, all right, I got to think about this a little bit. Let me let my heart calm down. I was like, okay, you film me waking him up. He was like, nope. Nope. I was like, I'm not going to kick him. Like, we're going to shake him.
Hey, you got to go.
Yeah. So he's like, no, we're not comfortable with that. I was like, okay. So I went in and said, hey, man, you got to go. You got to get out of here. He like kind of looked up at me, made like a grunt, and then laid back down. So I was like, okay, he's not leaving. So went outside, called the police. Police came, got him out, and then they just let him walk out. That's kind of the way it works now. So that was a crazy experience with that flip.
Wow.
Yeah.
They've heard some great video footage, though.
Wait, that one's launching soon.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We got you saw the clip, right?
That was just
Is
the
that what
clip,
you're
I
talking
guess,
about?
yeah.
Yeah, so we saw the clip of that. The end video is launching pretty soon, which you're going to love then.
Yeah.
But yeah, the police wanted to be on camera. They were loving it. They're like, are we going to be on HGTV? I'm like, not yet, but someday, yes.
That's awesome.
Give me your card and I'll save it. She was like, okay.
I think the underlying silver lining to that story is that he wasn't dead, because then you'd have to disclose it, and that would suck.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Gosh, like a massive overdose or something. That would have been horrible.
Like, no,
I just lost everything.
Yeah.
And that flip, 2.5 months later, it's still not done. Or a month and a half later, it's going to be a break even, unfortunately.
Oh,
So,
rats.
yeah, so that would have made it even worse.
Yeah.
So learning the hard way that way too.
You win
But
some,
that's
you
just-
lose some,
yeah,
man.
It's another aspect of real estate.
Yep.
But ton of fun, learning the process and everything.
Would you say you're a risk taker?
Sometimes, yeah. I say it would have to be calculated, but yes,
I was going to say you're very calculated.
yes.
Yeah.
I guess it's depending on the situation, because sometimes I learn the hard way, and then sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to overthink this a little bit more, and then jump in. Like, should I buy some leads or not?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'll put a little bit of money into buying some real estate leads and try it out. So it kind of works.
Or a
little bit.
CRM.
Yeah. Or a CRM. For the people who don't know, that's this online thing that holds all your clients in it.
It's not a binder.
I just write them down with
With
paper.
January through December, 1 through 31. No,
Still have it in my office.
It's so great.
Yeah.
I love it.
To me, real estate, it's just simple. It's like you said. It's just you have to sell your house. I'm here to help you. So it's really not much more than that. Yes, we put it online. Yes, we market it. Yes, we do all these thousands of different things that everybody doesn't need to know. But it's really just simply talking to people. So you don't have to have all the fancy CRMs and all that. They help a little bit.
If it makes you feel any better, I've been doing this for over 10 years, and I still don't have a CRM. So
last year I got a website.
Yes.
Hey,
yes.
Stepping it up.
Stepping it up.
Yep.
I don't think I've checked into it since
I
last
was
year when I got it. But
And the only thing I saw when you did that was like, a distraction.
oh, it totally is a distraction. You take I finally switched to like the major CRM, which is like Follow Up Boss, I guess is the new thing now. And it's been a 2-month process of actually getting it up and running. Now that it is up and running, I'm like, okay, it is a little bit easier to, instead of writing somebody down, I could put them here and they could text me a reminder, hey, you haven't talked to Susan in like 30 days. Maybe you should call her.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But that's all right. I built the foundation. You could focus on that. I don't think anybody in year 1, 2 should even have a CRM or a website or any of that. They don't need it. They need to focus on meeting more people and talking real estate.
Having conversations.
Correct.
Yep. Yeah. And what is it? Relationships lead to conversations, and conversations lead to contracts, and contracts lead to closings. Closings lead to commissions.
There you go. Simple as that.
Which leads to toys.
Everybody write that down. Which camera's mine?
Yeah.
Everybody write that down.
Like 3 of them.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was impressive.
I know. I just made it up. Trademark. I trademarked that.
I love it.
Do you have fun selling real estate? Do you think this is fun?
Yeah. There's good and bad times in everything, but
Yeah.
I do. I have a ton of fun. Today was one of those bad times. Being honest, I told both of you guys when I walked in, I didn't even feel like doing this.
Yeah.
I was like, "What the heck? Give me a Red Bull or give me something to like spark me up." Just because it was a rough day. You have a lot of fires. If you're doing real estate at a high level, I think the rule of NAR said last year, for every 10 escrows, there was 4 that fell out.
Wow.
So
40%.
if you're a top producer and you have 20 in escrow, you're going to have 8 that are going bad. Now, what do you think that your mind as a human is going to focus on? Are you going to focus on the 12 that are going good, or are you going to focus on the 8 that are going bad?
Right.
We're all going to focus on the 8 that are going bad, unfortunately.
Then it consumes your mind because what you focus on expands.
Yeah.
Tammy.
Yes.
But it's also evidence, right? It's also evidence you care.
That's true, too.
And that's a great attribute for a real estate agent to have.
Right, and it bugs me because if my client calls me and they're upset and then I try and put out the fire, then I get off the phone with them.
Yeah.
In the background, I'm like, oh, now I'm upset too because that sucks for them, you know? But that's just one of the hard parts.
Yeah.
I would say there is a lot more better days in real estate, but there is hard days for sure.
And I think that's something that a lot of people in the general public don't realize is how emotional real estate is for the agents, but then also for the clients. So, moving is emotional and selling. And so, when you get the request for repair to change out all the outlet covers and stuff like that, sellers can take it very personally, like they're offended or something like that. And I'm obviously making it very minor. But, you're managing a lot of personalities. You're dealing with, the clients, the appraiser, the home inspector, the other agent, their brokers, all those kind of people that have their hands in the pot kind of thing to make it work. Right. And so if somebody's having a bad day, then it can definitely have a ripple effect.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah.
You're the babysitter of
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah, but you make it
facilitator.
look easy.
Yeah. Checklist.
Yeah.
Have a good checklist.
Are you very systematic like that? You have a lot of checklists and systems like that?
I do. Now we have to put them online. They're all paper. I made a checklist like 3 years ago of everything that has to happen in escrow from A to B.
A to Z.
A, B to Z.
Yeah, there's more than A to just B.
Yeah, there's A to Z to everything in the whole entire world.
Looks like an algebra equation by the end of it. Yeah.
If you had a how to close a deal book, it'd be this big.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and then it would change every day.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem. So we do have a system in place. It does change. It evolves. It gets better and better and better. I think one day we'll have it nailed down.
And I think you just hit something that's very important is that you could have the perfect formula, but every transaction is different because you got different personalities, you got the different situations, scenarios. Somebody just lost somebody, their loved one, or they got a job relocation, or their first-time home buyers are super excited.
Right.
So I think being quick and adaptable like you are is I think adds to your success as well, probably.
Yeah. So, example. One thing I've always said is, hey, the photographer will be at your house. We set it up. Ended up getting a good date, Tuesday at 3. Works for you, works for him, great. The photographer will be there. Most people are like, okay, I understand. And recently I had one of my sellers call me, and where are you? The photographer's here. I was like, oh, I set it up. He's there. She's like, I know, I need to talk to you. Where are you? I thought you come. I was like, well, no. He's there. That's his job.
He's doing his part of the job.
Yeah, and then we're going to go crazy with them, right? She was very upset that I wasn't there because she wanted to just go over a few more things. So I changed my verbiage on when we're talking with sellers about photos. And this is 5 years in, remember? We're learning about how to talk to sellers about photos. And it's going to help now. So a bad thing, a negative, we turn it into a positive. Hey, the photographer will be here without me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
And you're hitting, again, you have so many good points, man. Setting proper expectations and communicating those expectations clearly definitely eliminates frustrations. See what they all kind of rhymed.
Like
Trademark.
That was like a rap. You need to break that. A film guy needs to break that down into like one of those mini
and do a
5-second
a voice synthesizer.
Yeah, with your logo on it.
Ball guy. Ball guy.
That would be rad. Yeah. I'm obviously learning as I'm going, but it goes back to like what you said. I still have a foundation. I still have to call. I still have to do that foundational stuff, and sure, we can add this extra stuff on top of my foundation, but you still have to have that foundation to get business and to continue a successful business.
Yeah.
The other thing I love that you do is you surround yourself with excellence.
Yes, I've learned that too.
Yeah, really smart people.
Yeah.
We always say if you're the smartest person in the room, then you should walk out.
Right?
Yes.
Room.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
I agree. And it's true because you'll talk to certain people about a situation and they'll react in this way, but then you talk to people who have the same, and it doesn't have anything to do with money, but the same core values as you, or the same forward push, and it will always be the right answer. So I've learned that as well too. It doesn't mean like, oh well, Christian makes X amount, so it's not like I could ever call him to be friends with him. Has nothing to do with that.
Right.
You got the same core values, or we're doing something the same. Always. It'll always work out.
Yeah.
So.
And you've always been open. Every time I've encountered you, you know, you're just a very open person. So I've never once gotten that kind of cold shoulder or whatever. Just being a lowly, red tie wearing, bald headed person. I think we've always had a mutual respect for each other. But I think you just have that as your way of life, though.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's like I don't have any secrets in the business. There's some people that have said they've tried to talk to me, and I kept walking. Well, it's just because. I was probably late to an appointment or something.
I was going somewhere.
I had to pee really bad. I don't know. We walk and talk.
Yeah.
But no, it's because some people think that there's this big secret and, top producer, and I can't tell anybody. So that's why I've just always been open with it. No, I just do this, this, and this. Try it if you want.
It's an open secret. It's called hard work. And they're like, but what's the secret, though?
Yeah.
It's hard work. But tell me what the secret is.
Yeah.
Where's those magical pills that
it's
you...
True. It's true. It's true.
Those gummies.
Somebody will say that in this video. So where could you buy those? I know you mentioned that in the beginning. I didn't listen to anything else.
Yeah, that's all I heard.
Did you buy those?
That's all I heard.
Yeah.
How about coaching?
Coaching, gosh, I joined coaching year 2. I wish I would have joined year 1 of real estate, just because coaching is huge. I didn't know it all. We don't know. I still don't know it all. Still learn all kinds of new stuff. I'm still with the same coaching program. It's Mike Ferry organization. I still go to the same seminars this would be my 5th year, and it's still the same stuff, but I always have those different 3 things that I heard. It's weird how that works, right? It's now he's I'm starting to hear, but I think it's because where I'm at in my business is your past clients and your sphere and your friends are the gold mine. I'm like, 5 years in, really? But I guess if you're only 1 year in, you wouldn't hear that because you don't have the past clients and you don't have the sphere and you don't. So it just makes sense to continue with the coaching.
Yeah.
But yeah, coaching changed my whole life, my whole business. It changed everything.
It's funny that 5-year thing. There really is this tipping point that happens. If you do the first 5 years correctly, all of a sudden it just starts to snowball in a positive direction where you're not chasing them; they start to come to you, kind of thing. So, and that's such a fun feeling because then you don't have to work so hard.
You don't. Yeah, it's 100% true. It's what does David call it? It's attracting or hunting. You're either attracting business or hunting business. Yep. I'm like, okay, I'm doing both now. So that's kind of my goal.
Yeah.
So
I like both.
Yeah.
I think both bring good bread.
Yep. But there has to be, I would say, I don't know what the whole audience is here, but what I would say is just consistency and hard work. That is the magic pill that I bought. Yeah. Learn that you have to have a schedule in real estate because there's nobody keeping us in charge. You guys all know David Stites. We both just hit 50 pounds. And everybody's like, dude, what did you guys do? I need to know the kind of drugs and fat burners and how did you lose 50 pounds? It's like, well, it took 7 months of being on meal preps that taste disgusting and going to the gym for 7 months straight. Like, that's what it took. Yeah. And if we don't go, we owe each other $100 a day.
Woo,
so it's
playing big stakes.
Yeah.
Right?
It's accountability and it's consistency. But it's the same thing in real estate. If you were like, okay, I'm going to door knock 50 doors a day. You hate door knocking or cold calling?
I hate both of them.
Okay, well, darn it.
Yeah, sorry.
If you're like, all right, I'm going to door
example, man.
If I need to, John wants to go crazy this month.
I'm making videos. I do videos. So
I'm going to do 50 videos. That'd probably be impossible. I'm going to do 30 videos this month, or I owe you $100 for each video I don't do. You'd probably get the 30 done.
Yeah. And
even if they were 20-second videos or whatever that you just looped out, you'd probably get them done, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
I love doing video, but
yeah.
But you love cold calling, so
right.
There you go.
But should you do 20 a month now?
I don't know. Is this a trick question? We're talking about you.
We're talking about accountability.
Oh, accountability.
So
okay.
the reason it works is because we're all motivated by pain or pleasure.
Right.
I think you have to figure out what it is for me. Me, it's pain. I'm like, I don't want to pay my money, my hard-earned money. Pleasure, it's good too with the goal stuff, but I'm more motivated by the pain.
Yeah.
Right? What are you motivated by?
I'm motivated by, I guess, pain. Yeah, getting away from the pain kind of thing. Yeah. I think pain's always a good motivator. But the pleasures always make it nice, too.
Yeah, of course.
If you do this, then you get this.
Yeah. We won't ask Susan.
No, don't ask me. If you do this, you get a reward.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
When you get to here, then you get a present.
Yeah.
Well, of course, that's not what we do in the morning accountability group. It's $100 if you're late and $20 if you don't do one of the things that you didn't say you were going to do. So,
well, and so for those that don't know about Signature Realty, Susan, you used to be a preschool teacher, right?
I did.
And so to this day, and it's funny, we're successful people and business people and all this kind of stuff. But I'll tell you what, when I was in my chasing the award thing, I worked harder to get those damn trophies and the gift certificates every month, and I won a lot of them.
All of them.
But the money's gone. It comes and goes kind of thing. But those trophies are still on my desk.
That's right, they are.
I love those trophies.
Shine, son.
Yeah,
shine.
I'm all about I am shiny, so. But I do like trophies.
You gotta wipe your head real quick.
Yeah.
I still have trophies from when I was like 14 years old. Dirt bike trophies. I love
Right?
those.
That's awesome.
Do you have yours?
I have a few. I think I have one baseball one. I never really got any dirt bike trophies. I didn't race like this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost went pro.
Yeah.
I was like a champion. That was good.
We should go back.
I remember the first
Start
time I
racing
saw
dirt
him
bikes on the
ride.
side.
So
I'm too
fun.
fat, old, and slow, and afraid of getting hurt.
Same. They sell, the KTM, the street legal one.
Oh yeah, you posted about that. I was like, oh, you getting that?
Buying one. Because you can't do the big jumps and stuff. Like keep it away from that.
Yeah.
It's not really a track bike, so stay away from that
So
stuff.
you ride from your house and go off in the dirt.
Go cruise and go hit the trails and enjoy the sunset.
Yeah.
Kind of slow down, but still on a dirt bike.
Yep.
Right. So that might be the new goal.
Yeah. After an elbow replacement, I would think that going slower is probably better.
Yeah. That was the last one.
Yeah. Good lesson learned.
You're the bionic man.
Yes. I wish.
Awesome.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh gosh. That's a big one because everything is changing this year. The whole vision on things. I would honestly say my passion is always what I'm learning is just teaching other people because I get more fulfillment now. Now that I finally realize that all right, the boat is cool, the nice house is cool. Gotta have a pool house was my biggest goal. Gotta have an amazing pool. I've been there 2 years. I've swam in the pool 12 times, maybe.
Oh my
if that,
gosh.
In 2 years.
And
I've
I'm
used
pretty
the
sure
hot
I've
tub a
seen it
lot.
on
It's a
Facebook.
beautiful pool, but
Oh,
that was
okay.
always the goal, right?
Right.
So I slowly started to realize, like, all right, what does pump? Why are you doing all this? If not, hang out for a few years and just chill till you figure it out. But I figured it out quickly, and it was just because of that little stuff that happened, like that little story I told you. Like, it really gets me fired up if I tell somebody to do a couple of these things and they actually do it and they get results from it.
Yeah.
So I think 5 years from now will probably something to do with that, whether it be coaching for real estate, coaching for business, anything, you know, because the stuff that I do here could work in any business. If real estate all decided to go away tomorrow and houses just sell on Google, then you could implement these same tasks in any other business and still be successful.
Yep.
So that's where I think I see myself in 5 years, is teaching people.
I think the sky is not the limit for you. I think you're going to go right through the stratosphere. So
Yeah, that's the game plan.
you got all the makings of success, and it's been great watching you, and it's been great calling you a friend.
Thank you.
And any final thoughts you want to share?
I just want to say thank you for everything that you've brought to the community here.
Yeah.
Because you're changing the whole dynamic. I mean, just the call nights, the listing role play, the things that you have brought in the teaching and training and mentoring even here.
Yeah.
But the joy as soon as you walk in,
Yeah.
there's a definite difference when you're not here.
Really?
And you feel it. It
Thank
feels
you.
different.
Yeah.
So when you walk in, of course, Ben Affleck has walked in.
Yeah.
So all the girls are, ah! Even the boys, we think you're cute too.
I know, Don. It's okay. I like the shiny hair too.
I want to thank you for everything you contribute. You're a good man.
Yeah.
And you have a great future.
Yeah.
And keep believing in yourself and don't go too many shiny avenues, other directions.
Yeah.
You keep being you.
Yep.
You
Stay
watch the other
focused.
people do what they're good at. You stay with what you're good at. Stay
Yeah.
planted. Keep your good spiritual self sound. And
Yep.
I couldn't be more proud.
And right back at you. Every time I talk to Susan, and I think everybody can agree, it's like, oh my gosh, she made me feel better.
Yeah.
It is. And it's honestly the same with you. Every time I talk to you, it's like huge smile. What are you doing, dude? Oh, you feel down? All right, how can I fix you? The other day, you sent me a video because I was bumming a little bit. You know, totally changed my whole day.
Thanks.
So thank both of you guys just for that. I don't think you realize how much you impact people, and you as well. It's kind of like, and I didn't realize, remember, being
Yes.
gone for 2 weeks, and then every person in the office has asked me, like, where have you been? I'm like, oh, you guys care?
Yeah, we care.
That's weird.
You're important.
That was weird.
You
I
are
didn't know.
important.
I didn't know till that happened.
Yeah.
But
Pleasure to be alongside you in
yeah,
your journey.
Thank you very much, you guys. I appreciate it.
Well, folks, that's it for this episode of Signature Studios Spotlight Series with the world famous Ben Affleck looking, listing taken, cold calling Mr. Christian Stone, and the wonderful world famous Susan Ebert, and your favorite bald head red tie wearing realtor, John Butler, saying see you in escrow, bye.
Bye.